Good morning, Flosstube. This is Pam, stitching between the lines. Today is Tuesday, August 1st, 2023, and this is Flosstube number 128. Usually I have my date over here, and I put it right in front of me so I wouldn't have to look over there. Old habits die hard. Okay, this is going to be a short and sweet Flosstube, just to get through my July progress and whatnot, and just to stay on course. I usually put my projects that I'm done working on for the month over here in front of the cabinet that my serger sits on, so I can get them put away. But like I said, short and sweet. I do have a new grandbaby, a little girl, and she's as sweet as can be, of course, always, always. Private information is private, so we are leaving it at that, and I'd appreciate it if people didn't ask, because, you know, private's private. There's a lot of foolish behavior on here with way too much information about other people's children or their own grandchildren. I'm floored. Anyway, yeah, so it's been a whirlwind, and I'm tired, and I look like heck, and I have a new person cutting my hair because my old person has left the business. So the first time I went, see, I keep focusing on the problem area. The first time I went, I was really good about like all the cowlicks and whatever, and so then I went this last time, and I forgot to say I got a wicked cowlick right here. So these bangs right here want to be like, I don't know where they're going, somewhere else, and not lining up with the rest. So anyway, because I have a wedding on Sunday, so yeah, mother of the groom. So quite a whirlwind. Anyway, the stitching has been all over the place this month. I do a lot all of a sudden, and then none all of a sudden. So let's just take a quick look-see at what was WIPCO draws this month. WIPCO draws for me was I don't even know the numbers, sorry, was my last three patterns of my 8x8. I say the last three, my 8x8 was a category unto itself. So when I did 8x8, that was sort of my rendition of the 12x12 that some people did on New Year's Eve like 2 years ago, and I had great success doing it. I only did one thing every hour for 8 hours. And I had it it was a 3-day weekend, of course, being New Year's Eve, and I worked on everything for an hour each day for the 3 days. By the third day, I was kind of sick of it, but I had finished a thing or two. So anyway, I finished whatever all throughout that year of 2022. And then New Year's Eve 2022, I did the same thing. I lined up 8 things, and I hated every minute of it. Or, I don't know, I didn't even start them all. It was a little chaotic that weekend. So the first time the 8x8 were drawn, I finished 5 of them, or at some point I finished 5. We've reviewed those all in the past. I'm not dragging them out now. And then I had 3, which I'm counting these 3 as 3 things, because for me it was all smalls. These 3. No. Sorry. I'm really tired. Which, you know, is everybody's excuse for everything, but honest to God, I'm tired. I'm very tired. Fell asleep watching TV last night, which I never do, like at 7 o'clock. So I dozed from 7 till 8, and then I forced myself to stay awake till 8 until 9:15. I just couldn't do it anymore. I went to bed. So, anywho, apparently I'm still in need of more sleep. This was the 3 additional 8x8s that needed completed to complete that category. I won't be doing that again. And that was the general consensus of people who got on board with it that I've seen on Flosstube. Wanted to do it and didn't even start all the things they wanted to start. I think they were probably still doing 12x12, but I knew perfectly well. Not a late night person. So anyway, these were the last 3. These are Waxing Moon Designs Christmas Tree Trio, and they are all stitched on, I gotta look at it, on 28 count natural light linen by Witchell. So I did get all 3 of them done. I made only the slightest modifications. So there's one of them. Instead of doing like just a long droopy string thing, thread thing, let me get it out so you can see. Oh no, this, yeah, it was like tie it with the bow. I'm like, heck no, I don't like that. I did some beads. And then on the other two, this one's probably my favorite. I love bittersweet. So those are all beads. I did that one. Pretty much followed the pattern, I think. And this other one, I also did not do like long stretches of thread tied in a bow. Like, And then on the pattern, these were all these little things that were stitched and they looked like torture. So I got out my Just Another Button Company tin of buttons, which I was in their button of the month thing for like 10 months. And then there was a little error in bookkeeping somewhere, record keeping. We were away on vacation when I got the email that my credit card had expired and it was time to put another one in, and I never remembered to go back and do it, and so they just quit sending them, and no, whatever. I didn't intend it to happen that way, but it did. So anyway, all these things are stitched. They kind of look like buttons. Some of them are heart-shaped. So I went through my buttons and I picked out buttons I liked, and I also did the bead thing again. Come on. This one's just caught up under there somewhere. Happier with that than lengths of thread tied in a bow. Just not my jam. So 8x8, check, done. Not doing it again. So that one's done. Then another one that was called was Rooster and the Hens, which is a Little House Needleworks pattern that I started a million years ago. Priscilla and Chelsea, I think Chelsea had stitched it and Priscilla had finished it in this really cute little egg box that she got at Michael's. So I bought the same thing. You know how good I am at finishing things. It's comical. I know. This is on 28 count tea-dyed Monaco, not tea-dyed by me, sold as a tea-dyed Monaco. Oh, it's got 2 needles in it. Cute as can be. What did I leave off? Oh, I left off the border, which is sometimes what I prefer to do when I'm going to finish it myself, because then I'm maybe not held quite as accountable for how straight it is. I got stitching away, and it's all the called for threads, and as I'm working on it, like, I wished I'd thought to change the peach kind of color to red. Red farmhouse, red in the quilt, red flowers. But you know, I'm not stitching backwards. I don't have time for that. Nobody's got time for that, especially right now. But it's cute. It's fine. It's fine. It's whimsical. It can be the colors it is. So there you go. So then the free spot was drawn in July in WIPCO. And my free spot was a new start. So I actually had a start and a finish. I showed this before and talked about how Hands-On Designs, Seaside Tiny Town, cute, love everything to do with the ocean. But I live on a lake, so I wanted to modify it to be more lake friendly. So I did it on a piece of something scrap I had. Don't know where it came from. I know it's weeks, and I believe it's 30 count. You can just tell. So my tiny town, we do have seagulls, even on the lake. The fish store, the houses. And instead of the pelicans, which we don't have at the lake, and we don't really have crabs, we kind of get little crayfish. Not the same thing. So I took all the crabs out, and I put in, where the pelicans were, I put in these folks, which is the Heart and Hand Seaside Frill, which is a very, very nice complementing pattern. We have tall, stilted birds, I don't know, herons, we call them. They're herons around here. put the children with their fishy balloons parade, and I put the sailboat in, and I put the house in, and I took the the whale weather vane off and put on another seagull. Pointing out my mistakes, I did the sailboat colors backwards. I don't know why. I'm tired. I left it because, again, what don't we have time for? Ripping out anything. And who cares? Sailboats are different colors. I live on a lake. I see them a lot. So I am very happy with how it came out. Very, very happy. Did I change any colors? I don't think so. Let me just do a look-see. My sailboat, I feel like, doesn't pop out as brightly as that sailboat. For no good reason. White, brown, cream. Oh, I didn't do that. I did this. I thought I changed something. I did this a creamy color instead of a blue. I don't know why. Oh, probably because it's blue fabric. Again, excuse me. We'll title this one, The One Where Pam Was Tired. So I changed that one to a creamy color. And I think that was it. Isn't that cute? I want to do a drum. I don't know. I keep saying that about stuff, and then I'm afraid to do a drum. I did one drum once, and I had a wee problem, and I know how to do math. I know how to do pi. I know how to do it. And let's not talk about it. And then I had a little bit of time. I worked on finishing up what I had started in the Kingdom of Books last month. Okay, last month was July. In June, I think I pulled it out and did this green book and this green book. It wasn't a WIPCO call. I forget what happened in June. That was, 32 days ago. The only thing, in the last few days, I did some more of the sky, and there's a few blank spots. I was just worn out. It's barely 24 stitches in there, but I was just plumb done. I really, really, really would like to keep going on this. I feel like of my big projects, this is the one that's closest to a finish. Changing the direction of my needle so I can roll it up. As if I just did an occasional book. I say that with all good intentions, but then something else that's a big long-term project that I feel has been neglected cries harder and louder to me, so I need to get that out. But I really would like to keep going. One solid month of work on this, that's my lovely back, because there's so many color changes, gets me three books, plus, I know it's upside down, plus the appropriate background, and I haven't done any of the bottom part. So, I don't know. I'd like to keep going. And then the WIPCO draws for August. Do you know what WIPCO is? I'm using words. I understand. I use the words. Here's that lamp again. I use words that we commonly use, but I understand not everybody knows what the words mean. So WIPCO was Jessie Marie. Jessie Marie does stuff. It was her creation, and it's a bingo board, so 5x5 blocks. You put in there whatever you want, however you want. Fill in each box, and there's the free space in the middle, which could simply be your free space, or you can put something. The month the free space is drawn, she'll draw 2 other ones. So 1 month there'll be 3. So if you've put something major in there, know that it's going to be pulled along with 2 others. That's why mine was a start something new. So every month on the Facebook page, Jessie Marie draws 2 numbers. So 1 through 25, she draws them however they come up. You've decided yourself what it is your WIPCO goals are, whether it's to work on something for 2 hours or 10 hours or every day of the month or whatever, however you do it. For me, it's 10 days because I like to work on just a couple things and work on them intensely for the month. So I have a variety of large things and a variety of small things, and sometimes, and things are on there more than once, especially the big stuff. And sometimes those big stuff numbers are pulled in the same month. So I believe Kingdom of Books that happened. So it didn't get as intense of a workout as it could have. And I've had that happen, I think, 3 times where the same project was called. right together. One of them was Mermaids of the Deep, which was a finish last month. So I finished it. I think another month, the two things that were called were to start new things. So anyway, it can mix up any way you want. And I'm heading down a path as I explain it about where I'm going to go in a minute after I show you what the draw was for August. August's draw was my second time working on the rural post office at Christmas, which is a Bucilla. And I am so in love with this pattern. When it was drawn last time, which might have been around January, I worked on this miserable, and this was just a challenge because it's so fussy, background stuff. So that my feeling was, you know, a pen fell on the floor. My feeling was eat your vegetables first. So I had a variety of this done, obviously. So I really have most of that background done so I can get to work on the roof, which again is not all that exciting because it's a lot of snow. I like to work because I stitch in hand. I like to work, I start in the center and I work over, and I like to work the upper right and then the lower right because those things don't get held in my hand. And then I go over to the upper left. I'm showing you backwards. This would be the upper left, upper right, upper left. Work on that because I'm holding this and I don't want to be holding all of this. So I'm going to work over a little bit here in the roof, and then I'll start working down here, and then I'll have to shift over to roof and down. So this was the big thing drawn this month, and so I will put in some time on that the best I can. I got a wedding, right? Did I say that? And there's a baby. I'll dig right into that snow, and then I'll see what feels like a natural progression. And then the other Whipco draw was a new start. So I have a bunch of new starts. I have a crap ton of stuff kitted up, and that is a genuine number, crap ton. But I don't know what it's going to be. I'm going to start. I like to primarily have large things going and an occasional small thing. So I'm not really sure what will happen in August until I'm actually starting it. So, which could be this afternoon. I don't know. I have no idea. So the rest, August will be, I think maybe there will be a few days of sleep, if I'm lucky, post-wedding festivities. And then the baby's coming along and trying to figure out everybody's trying to figure out how to make her sleep a little more at night, which she's doing great. She's doing fine. She's as sweet as can be and is alert now, so much more alert, and trying to, you know, keep her stimulated during the day. And so she sleeps better at night when you got everything's calm and quiet. So anyway, yada, whatever. I somehow managed to get my own kids raised up okay. I think I can help out, lend a hand in the grandkid department a little bit. So Whipco, this is where I'm really going. So Whipco next year, I'm starting to think about, as I'm down to about 10 whips. Most of them are big because there's a couple more smaller things that really could get finished this year. I like to, so I've up to this point for the last couple years, I've worked on one large thing for an entire month, and then a minor thing. That tends to be what I call it, a minor piece. And I like that. I like that I get that huge chunk of time to work on a big project. So I don't want my large projects on a Whipco board called randomly. I'd like to have, maybe wouldn't it be a nice dream to have 6 large things and I could work on them 2 solid months a year. Unless they get close to done or I get close to like wanting to push for a finish, which happens. You know, I get stuff done. I don't necessarily need to do I'm not the person that Whipco was created for, because I don't have a problem working my way through my whips. But I thoroughly enjoyed watching for the numbers to be called and seeing what was going to be called. So I could work myself up to 6 large projects, which I may or may not already have going, and have like 12 smaller ones and put them each on there twice. That's a potential. That's a lot more small, medium projects. Like for me, a medium project would be like a prairie schooler, especially the monthlies. And a small would be something like what I just finished last month, those patterns. So I could do that. I could have 12 of those on there twice. A lot of those I assume I'm going to finish in a month. So the month they're drawn, they'd be finished. Which, if I didn't finish them and they got called a second time, that's all well and good. They should be done. Or if they're already finished and they get called again, that would just be a new start. Look at that. I think I'm just mapping out my plan right here and now. That I'll just choose which large thing gets worked on and let WIPGO draw my small medium selection for the month. That could be. That might work. Look at us. Look at us solve the problems of the world. Anything else? Is there anything else you guys want me to solve? I can work it out. We can work it out. We can talk it out. So what else? Anything? I'm kind of haphazardly reading, so I don't have anything to talk about there. I'm haphazardly sewing. Can't show you anything there. We had horrible heat, like horrible for us heat, like we're gonna melt heat that broke. This morning, I was out to the grocery store nice and early. It was 54 degrees. Yay! Yay, upstate New York. We love 54 degrees and we can put on shorts and a sweatshirt and we're good to go. Sweatshirt has since come off because I was out doing all the flowers and watering and all that jazz. It's up to 65 now and it's 10 o'clock in the morning. So this is our kind of weather. It's unusual for August. I think this is more like beginning of September weather. So I'm sure we'll warm back up again. It'd be nice if it stayed like this through the wedding because the wedding is outside. So nobody wants to roast. Certainly not me. I don't do heat anymore. At times I'll go out on the boat and it's really hot or whatever. That's fine. Anyway, there we have it. That was short and sweet, less than 25 minutes. Oh, I know. Okay, I got to put pictures in. I went yesterday and picked up my, oh Lord have mercy, hippocampus in patches. Showed you the finished piece in July. Took it to the framers. It was done. I took it and delivered it to my daughter. It's for the baby's room. So pictures here. It is by... Oh, that's escaped me totally. The pattern is somewhere in this room. So I will get that out and then put it across the screen. I can see it in my mind, but I can't see the full title. Yeah. Standing by my title of the one where Pam was tired. But that's okay. It's that kind of tired that's good tired. Just because everybody's so busy and we're doing all the things to make all the things happen. So enjoy the rest of your summer, and I will be back at the end of August, 1st of September, and we will talk again.